You were never taught discernment, and it cost you. I know it cost me. No one sat us down and taught us how to read people, situations, or simply our instinct. We were taught to not trust in ourselves. Most of us did not have the privilege of a foundation that is strong in our principles and convictions. Those things that we were not taught are now liabilities because now we have to go forth into the world without the tools necessary to survive it. And yet we do by the grace of God. Most of us have paid the price for not having this skill and have spent years wondering what was wrong with us rather than recognizing what was missing from our education. The domino effect, if you go back, who taught your parents? What did they lack that didn't allow you to gain this knowledge? And what did their parents lack? So we're not here to blame. They truly are to blame because they were awful to you, then the point is to heal because you are meant to progress and do great things despite the harm they've done. So, you're meant for more than holding on to something that just isn't going to help you progress. Hi, I'm Bianca, your internet big sister. I'm here to share for anyone alike that wants to grow, to discern, think critically, think outside of the ways you are used to, so that we can contribute to the progress of our society as a people. Who is most vulnerable? Those who were raised to prioritize others' comfort over their own truth. Those whom are empathetic. Their strength is also their entry point. They feel deeply, extend generously, and override their own read of a situation in order to be fair. Oh, that was a story of my life, but I learned a great deal. People pleasers, of course, they need the interaction to go well so badly that they will ignore what they are seeing to keep the peace. I used to think that why would someone be so unkind to me or go out of the way to be malevolent and malicious to me if I not only did I not do anything to them, but I even stood out of their way. There's no excuse for someone to kick you when you're down, to know that you're a people pleaser and abuse it. However, we live in the world we live in. So people pleasers really get the short end of the stick. And they're so kind and in dire need of true kindness and love. They seem to be met with people who just take and abuse and throw them away. People pleasers, you are welcome. Let's get past this one day at a time. I promise you, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Those from emotionally unstable homes. They learned early that their perception could not be trusted because they were told it was wrong, dramatic, or too sensitive. Because you can perceive something, yet it's not true. You're overly dramatic. You may not be seeing things the way you think you are. And that little by little leads to insanity, quite frankly. So keep an eye out for such things. Those who were never taught that what healthy skepticism, looks like. They mistake suspicion for cruelty and openness for virtue. That's a big one. You must know that it is normal to be suspicious of things, especially when your life depends on it. I would be suspicious of a dark alley and something rattling near the garbage. There's nothing abnormal about that. Same goes for suspicious of an individual, of an organization, of a group, of a movement. If you do not have healthy skepticism, you will fall for anything and you will be hurt drastically. You need to have healthy skepticism in order to at least form enough of a foundation to think your way through such situations and circumstances. And openness as virtue. It is kind to be open, yet it is not always virtuous. Those wolves in sheep's clothing can see you coming from a mile away. So the goal here is to protect yourself and move forth. So the depth aspect of this discernment is not cynicism. It is the disciplined ability to assess what is actually in front of you rather than what you wish were there. The discipline and ability to assess what is actually in front of you. This seems like common sense. However, it is not so common because of the great success of brainwashing and propaganda, and I can go on that subject. The reason why it's prevalent and everywhere you look is because it truly works. So we have become a society where we can see the truth, yet choose not to accept it, which is quite fascinating. Second, the it requires slowing down before you decide, before you commit, before you trust, before you give access. Who we trust, what or who we commit to, and especially give access to. And lots of us give access to our minds and hearts by what we see and scroll. We allow this access. You just must be aware. You can enjoy all you want, but be aware. This is the key. The cost of not having discernment is that there are repeated cycles with the same type of person, friendships that drain you without explanation, decisions that look wrong in hindsight but felt impossible to question in the moment. Ladies, how many times have we been met with the same man in a different body or the same situation? This is what happens when there is a lack of discernment. We do not ask for such situations, and we wish people did not take advantage of us maybe not knowing better or our kindness. That should never be overlooked. But the fact of the matter is that these people are attracted to those that are kind, that want to please, that just have a longing to be loved. And instead of nourishing you and nurturing that need, they want to destroy you for it. So this is the purpose for this, so that you know, yes, there are people out there like this who are perfectly fine hurting you. But let us not be cynical to believe everyone is the same. So a healthy balance, yet full awareness that these people flock to anyone that just truly wants to be loved. There's nothing wrong with that. But how we go about it is the issue. And then the connection to childhood. If your early environment was unpredictable or unsafe, your nervous system learned to normalize signals that should have been warnings. What felt like love was sometimes chaos. What felt like home was sometimes danger. That wiring does not disappear at 18. I have yet to meet someone that did not grow up in a home that had something that just wasn't right. And if you did, or if you know someone that did grow up in a lovely home and environment, I'm so happy for you. I love to hear things like that. And for those who didn't, an unpredictable environment really puts you off balance. Who are you to know what's true or to have the ability to discern properly, right? Sometimes we seem to have that in our subconscious, and that could really negatively affect our decisions in later life. Discernment also applies to information, movements, and ideologies, not only people. A person who cannot read people, cannot read rooms, cannot read narratives, cannot read the difference between something true and something designed to feel true. Huge. The designed to feel true. I guarantee there are many of you, as well as me, because propaganda does a great job. When you practice this continuously, you begin to never fall for what feels true or what you would want to be true. I love the 48 Laws of Power because it allows me to go into the mind of those who have malicious tendencies and intentions. So, Law 17 and Law 3, predictability and concealment are specifically designed to defeat discernment. So, unpredictability and concealment are specifically designed to defeat discernment. However, when you have discernment, those who conceal cannot do it good enough, and those who are unpredictable do not succeed because you've done the work within yourself and within your great desire and curiosity to learn more. So, how to develop and rebuild? Start by going back. Identify a situation where your gut knew before your mind caught up. What did you feel? That is your baseline. So that you can be familiar with a time where you said, I should have listened and I didn't. So now you have an example for when it happens again, you can avoid that outcome. Practice pausing before responding to new situations. Give yourself the space to observe before you decide. Respond, do not react. Pause, give yourself time to make a decision. There is no need to make a fast decision unless it is something of life or death. Take your time because these are your values at stake. These are important things. It should not be taken lightly. Study patterns, not moments. One interaction tells you little. 5 interactions across different circumstances tell you everything. Pattern recognition will help us avoid our own demise in trusting the wrong people. And if we do trust the wrong people, at least we have the capability and have practiced our steadiness to accept that defeat instead of letting it overtake us. Pattern recognition, however, will allow us to most likely prevent such situations. We're like 5 steps ahead when we do that. Journal what you observe about people, not what they say, but what they do. The gap between those two things is where discernment lives. Yes. Learn to sit with uncertainty without rushing to resolve it. The need to decide quickly is often manipulated. Real things hold up under patience. So the need to decide quickly, that is a sure sign of massive manipulation in any and almost all situations. Rebuild trust in your own perception. Every time you notice something and honor it rather than explain it away, that trust grows. Yes, this is why there are many times I can make a statement with great discernment, because I've done enough research to make that strong decision. However, you must again have the courage and humility that if presented with new information in which it proves that you are incorrect, partially incorrect, and so forth, then you have the empathy and courage to make that change. Because do you not value the truth? Do you not value reality? Or are you okay being in a fantasy filled with lies? That will be a decision you will have to make. So, how to protect against exploitation? People who will want to exploit your lack of discernment will move fast. Fast intimacy, fast trust, fast access, slow everything down. So, perfect example is what? Love bombing. The typical 101 tactic. Many young women, due to being naive and not the proper foundation, which is a parent's job to construct for them at a young age, the love bombing. Wow, this person truly, really likes me. I must be so special that him not even knowing me truly doesn't matter. Do we not long for someone to truly love us? Over time, I think we discover that that is not nearly what love is. It is a manipulation tactic to get everything out of you that is good, everything that you can offer. Yes, from intimacy to opportunity. They will appeal to your empathy, make you feel that your skepticism is unkind. Discernment is not unkind, it's necessary. Oh, this has happened to me many times. You question a lot. You're very skeptical about things. If it's healthy skepticism, what's the problem? What's the issue? What's the problem with me questioning? Is that a problem for you? When it comes to certain people who have malicious intentions, I don't think it's wrong to put that boundary, whether it's saying, that's an interesting comment. Can you repeat that again? I want to make sure I'm hearing what you're saying. It's fun to be able to do that to someone that has bad intentions, frankly. They will make you feel that questioning them is a betrayal of the relationship. In a healthy relationship, questions are welcome. I love those who have a healthy Q&A on very controversial topics or things that are important for them in the relationship, yet difficult to talk about. That's normal. That is healthy. It should not be seen as a betrayal. That is, again, a very strong manipulation tactic. Watch for people who become uncomfortable or defensive when you observe inconsistencies. Consistency does not require defense. People who become defensive when you notice that they have an imbalance in their character will freak out. Maybe they have fooled enough good people that when you mention it because you've done the work, it's scary to their ego. I don't disapprove of such things. Healthy suspicion in the presence of genuine red flags is not paranoia. Name it as what it is. Information your discernment is providing. Return to the question, what am I actually seeing, separate from what I want this to be? That question alone will protect you more than anything else. And that was an issue I had. I really wanted something to be something, but it was nowhere near. It was so false and so unreal. But the delusion of wanting it to be real is what kept me in a very unfortunate place. So, in conclusion, anyone watching, if you found this of any value, please let me know in the comments, like, subscribe. I will be making more videos. Hopefully, they are of benefit because that will motivate me to create more. My goal with this channel is to create critical thinking, discernment, common sense, just something common, something that we are naturally inclined to, and something that we work hard to keep awareness in the forefront of our minds in these type of situations. Thanks for watching, your internet big sister. Until next time.